Hey, realtors. Let me ask you a question. How many times have you worked with a client to only then crickets? Well, the truth in real estate, the transaction doesn't end at the closing table. Rather, it just begins. And today we're going to dive into how to turn these one time clients into lifelong partners. Hi, everybody. My name is Just Live 3E Professor, and I'm going to share powerful strategies that will help you not only stay top of mind, but also help build lasting, valuable relationships with your clients. So let's dive in. Now, before I begin with, I think, 5 key strategies for maintaining those and building those lifelong clients, I do want to quickly just talk some stats why this kind of drives me a little bit nuts. One, NAR tells us that 89, 90% of our clients say they would use us again for the next transaction, which actually means we do a really good job throughout the process, communicating, talking to them, listening to them, and building those relationships. But the challenge becomes the stat says somewhere between 12 and 17% actually do that. Now, what does that mean? What are we doing? Well, there are several beliefs on what we don't do, right? But what we're going to talk about today is really that we go silent in fairness, right? It's as I said at the very beginning, we just after the closing is done, it's done. And it's really just the opposite. That's when it just gets started for us. So let's talk about 5 key strategies to help with that. And the first one is start up a follow-up process. And that begins right after closing. While most agents move on, we should be building some sort of strategy in that relationship building. So there are some things that we can do in here to keep that relationship ongoing and meaningful for our clients. I recommend thank you cards. Handwritten are great, but what I'm going to tell you is I'm starting to see this a little bit. I had a friend of mine that for one of my local events, local thing, and this is not the first time she's done it, but she's done it a couple other times where she actually has a picture at the event that I'm doing, whether it's speaking or at this one was an installation, sends it to me. And then in there has, congratulations, thank you, whatever in there. And it's great. And it means a lot because it sticks out and it stands out. So you can use programs that will give you and send those pictures out. You also should probably call within a month after the deal. Now, this call isn't about, hey, how you doing? What's the house like? Blah, 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 blah. It's about showing you care, asking questions about how they're doing, what's going on. Are they enjoying their new home, right? Learning about them. John Maxwell tells us people do not care about how much we know until they know how much we care about them. And that's the step we're trying to involve right now. Second in place here is adding value with ongoing support. Now, this becomes a great trick so you can understand and maintain top of mind thinking. Google had did a study a long time ago, and there was an item called ZMOT, zero moment of truth. And this was, you need to be there when your clients are thinking about doing their next move, their next buy, their next whatever. And while there's a little bit of truth that I do believe in today's world, things move so fast that not only do you have to be at the zero moment of truth, you actually have to be before that. So you have to be top of mind. So how do you do that? One, you could send quarterly newsletters, monthly newsletters. These newsletters are the things that you do that you value. Maybe it's tips and tricks for home ownership. Maybe it's local market updates. Maybe it's about events in your area. Whatever this is, this newsletter should represent you. These could be done really in drip email campaigns that where you also could offer seasonal advice. What's going on? How do you get ready for the spring? How do you, what fun stuff do you do in the summer? How do you prepare your home for winter? Whatever it may be, you could put that out there. Also, if you have these, you could probably partner with local area businesses and give valuable coupons, stuff like that, to be in that area. So those are always good ways to get that done. 3, create a referral program. Now, what I didn't mention above or before is that when you're doing this, um, you're doing what's called giving an item of value or building reciprocity. There's a really good book by Dr. Robert Cialdini that says there are several principles in there, but the one I'm referencing is reciprocity. And it says when you give something of value, the people you give it to will feel inclined to give you the same value back. Now, this is great to understand. Well, again, please understand I'm talking about certain principles. You can't use it with the expectation. Just understand it will happen. So if it's authentic, it will happen. But when you do that, and you need to give them the ability to return the value of kind. Well, so they could give you an email or they could send you other things, and that's fine. That works. But really what they will want to do is help you be successful because you helped them be successful. You helped them successfully get to the end of their transaction. So have some sort of referral program available for your business, right? Make it easy for them to send referrals. Now, depending on the state you're in, you may have more abilities to do this or not, but maybe you could look of ways of honoring or rewarding, or at least very little recognizing them for the referral, right? Show some sort of appreciation for what they did. Again, thank you cards, stuff like that goes a long way. Always check with your state to know what you can and can't do for referral programs. But no matter what you do, make it easy for them to share the love and give those referrals to you. 5, we need to make sure you start showing appreciation to your clients. And one of the best ways to do that is to do client appreciation events. So when you do this, you could have a barbecue, holiday party, or even really, since we are so used to doing it anymore, have some sort of virtual gathering, right? You could come out there and just have a get to know the area of webinar type of event, which could happen. I do appreciate the in-person a little bit stronger. While I am the tech guy and I could do the webinars, I would rather be in person somewhere, do, like I said, a barbecue holiday event, something like that. It's a fantastic way to strengthen those relationships with your clients. So on number 2, when I talked about reaching out to your clients in a more consistent way, one of the things that you can actually do in there is use a technique, and it can be done at the client appreciation event as well, is use FORD, family, occupation, recreation, and dreams. These are conversation points you have with your clients. I try to get through all of them every time I'm talking to somebody. Hey, how's your family doing? What's going on with the kids? Blah, 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 blah. Are they going to college yet? Whatever. Occupation, how's the job going? You still like it? Recreation. Hey, what'd you do this past weekend? And dreams. Hey, so what are your goals? What are your retirement plans? What are your investment plans? Whatever, what are those goals? And I love the dream question because if I can help them get to that dream, I'm going to make sure I do that. Again, going back to the value of reciprocity, they will try to do that in return. But what I love about FORD specifically is I am strengthening that relationship with our clients and making sure they understand I know who they are. John Maxwell again tells us they don't care about how much you know until they know about how much you care about them. And that's what I'm trying to do with these relationships, trying to strengthen these relationships with them. So remember, host those events, whether it's annual, semi-annual, really doesn't matter. Make sure you're doing that in place. And then again, have them, when they come to these events, have them bring people with them. It's not just for them, it's for their friends, their family, whoever else. This will help you strengthen and build a community of a lasting bond. Last but not least is what I'm going to hear you guys tell me is, that's a lot. Good ideas. Yeah. I got no time for it. Well, we're all struggle with time, right? There is no such thing as time management. We only have the same 24 hours in a day, but we can manage our processes to leverage our time, right? So Two ways you really can leverage your time in here. One, you can hire an assistant if you have that ability, virtual assistant, in person, whatever. But what I'm going to talk about real quick is leverage that technology. And leveraging that technology is huge. You have CRM systems in there. You could come in there and set up a monthly, quarterly email campaign. You can use tools like Follow Up Boss. You can use KV Core, whatever. I mean, you can pick a lot. Wise Agent, one of my favorite. You can use these tools in place to help get that done. And these tools will be system and built. And a lot of these programs already have built-in campaigns. Now, I'm going to tell you, use them initially, but you're probably going to want to change them down the road. Go through trainings for how you can do that because you want them to be more like you or more effective for what you're doing. But do not have it cost you getting it done to be perfect, right? Perfect is the enemy of done. So please make sure when you do this that use what you have ahead of time, get it in place, but just accomplish what you need to do. Also, another thing to think about with technology is video. Video is helpful. Tools like BombBomb will let you send personalized video emails. Video is where it's at. It builds stronger relationships. It's more engaging than just text. Although I'll tell you, text is great, and I still do it today. Especially, I'm an Android guy. I can absolutely put text out there that will send it in a scheduled system. So when I got Thanksgiving, Christmas, major holidays, right? I will send a message. I will spend time a couple weeks ahead of time and start writing them out there and get them out there. That way on the day, it just blasts out and I'm done to go. Now there's actually application and programs you can buy that will do the same thing. And if you want to do that, that's fine. I'm a little cheap. I'm going to do it for free, but you get that out there. And the nice thing about it is it sounds personal. It feels personal. I'll even tell you some CRMs are doing text-based stuff too these days, which makes life really, really nice. So with that, folks, as you can see, building lifelong relationships with your clients isn't just about doing a good job at the transaction. It's about staying connecting, adding that value, and making them feel appreciated along the way. If you implement even a couple of these strategies, I guarantee you're going to see a big business change in your business and hopefully not only strengthen those relationships, but hopefully grow your business through referrals. So I do hope you found these tips helpful. If you did, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you don't miss any future content. I say that because while I try to be consistent about when I do these, things do change. I get quick videos in place for other stuff, and I don't want you to miss any of that stuff. But in the meantime, before the next video comes out, I do want to hear from you. Hear what you are doing. What strategies are you using to stay in touch with your past clients? Let's keep this conversation going. And until next time, keep building those relationships and let's turn those one-time clients into lifelong partners.